Hey, it's me, Game Sam, and welcome back to the third episode of my Satisfactory tutorial series.
If you followed along up to this point, you should have a couple of factories outputting rotors, reinforced iron plates, and modular frames, as well as a bunch of coal generators, and just about everything up through tier 3 and 4 milestones should be unlocked, except for maybe Mark 3 conveyor belts and Mark 2 miners, which will unlock soon. At this point, you may be thinking to yourself that you should really go back and rebuild a lot of your stuff to make use of these new technologies. Which begs the question, why have we put time and effort into making anything so far organized and efficient if it's all just been a means to an end? If the only reason any of that was built was to unlock these new things so it could then be destroyed. And you know what? There's still more to unlock. Am I going to go through the same cycle again? Why put effort into making anything look nice if it's just going to be replaced? What's the point? Yep. If you're thinking anything like that, you've reached your mid-game crisis. Now, there are a couple of ways to handle this. You can make your factories modular and expandable to future-proof them in a sense. You can build early-game factories knowing that they'll be less and less optimal as you unlock new technologies, and be at peace with that. You'll build new, more efficient factories as you go without ever losing the benefits of the old ones. Or you can throw any sense of organization in your building to the wind. You can slap down a bunch of ugly, temporary buildings in an attempt to speedrun the next space elevator launch. You can make conveyor belt spaghetti. You can stare into the void and try to ride on the back of a giant moth monster. Yeah, I recommend that last one. Start by slapping a mine on that sulfur we scanned for last episode, then promptly forget about it for several hours. Try to take down one of these big guys in glorious head-to-head combat, only to fall in battle. Go back for your stuff unarmed before inevitably dying again. And eventually decide to craft a gun so that you can apparently launch this guy straight into space. Build yourself a little steel factory. This one takes in 180 coal and 180 iron ore a minute. Of course, our coal mine only outputs 120 coal a minute, so we're going to have to craft some power shards. Every one of these you stick into a building increases its output rate by 50%, so one of them in a Mark 1 mine on a pure node will make that pure node output 180 coal a minute. Now that you've started outputting steel pipes and beams, you can finish off the last couple of milestones in Tier 4, including advanced steel production, which will unlock Mark II miners. Mark II miners are super useful. They just double the output of any node, so one of these on our pure coal node, for example, would output 240 coal a minute. Use some of your steel beam output to produce encased industrial beams. And push this button again to unlock Mark III conveyor belts, which can convey 270 items a minute. This would also be a good time to remember that you built that sulfur mine and to route some coal over to it so you can start outputting black powder, which will unlock some pretty cool stuff for us in the MAM. Also go ahead and unlock hypertubes, which are super cool, but which we're not going to start using quite yet. At this point, you should have unlocked every milestone through Tier 4. Unlock some explosives in the MAM, and head over to the Caterium node that's been taunting us all this time. Your new explosives should make pretty short work of this boulder. And, that was underwhelming. Much better. Now you can set up a mine on the Caterium and some smelters. Unlock some more stuff in the MAM, start automatically manufacturing quick wire, and go ahead and unlock Blade Runners, which are super dope. Blade Runners make you run faster, jump higher, and take less damage from falling. Once you've gotten used to having them on, you are not going to want to go back to playing without them. Might as well unlock AI limiters while we're at it. And you know what? Let's do some exploring. Let's see, what have we here? Oh, looks like an endless pit. And up over here, oh, hey, would you look at that? An even bigger endless pit. And oh, hey, a crash site. These are actually super useful. If you can repair the drop pods in these, they'll give you hard drives that you can use to unlock alternate recipes. It looks like this one just needs a little bit of power, which is pretty darn easy to route over. And now we can research that hard drive in the MAM, which will take about 10 minutes. Well, actually, I guess it'll take exactly 10 minutes. Let's go ahead and drop some awesome sinks around the place. I want to unlock some more stuff from the awesome shop, and right now we're not really using the rotors, modular frames, or reinforced iron plates that we're outputting. Now that that hard drive has finished researching, we can unlock one of these 3 alternate recipes. None of these ones actually look all that good to me, so I'm kind of just picking one here to cycle them through so that hopefully we'll get better recipes with the next hard drive. Make yourself a little area for producing AI limiters, and go ahead and unlock parachutes and smart splitters, which we'll probably use both of eventually. You should be at a really good spot now to start getting antsy about wanting to just rebuild your whole base from the ground up. So this is a good time to place your space elevator back down and start thinking about trying to fill it all up with stuff. After some quick math, I found that 1 assembler making automated wiring, 2 making versatile frameworks, and 2 making smart plating should have the entire thing ready to launch within an hour. Unfortunately, that means we're going to need 5 modular frames a minute, and right now we're only making 4, so let's just rebuild all this. And we can just route all of our reinforced iron plates over here. And it looks like to get all of the steel beams and pipes we need, we're actually going to have to kick up our steel production just a little bit. And for that, we're going to need a bit more power, so let's just head back over to our coal power plant and build another wing of generators. And we're going to have to bump all of our mines over here to Mark II mines, which means that we'll be outputting 360 coal a minute, enough to power 24 generators at once. I've also decided to redo the dumb triple conveyor belt thing I had over here, and now it's just going to be 2 stacked Mark III conveyor belts. One will feed 2 wings, and the other will feed the other 2. And there we go. That should put us up at 1350 megawatts available. We're also going to have to upgrade the mine that outputs the coal we use to make steel. We're going to need 270 coal and 270 iron ore a minute, and that's no problem for a Mark II miner with a power crystal. We'll just go ahead and route all of our rotors over this way. Ooh, and sorry AI Limiter Factory. You weren't up and running very long, but I have just got to take all of this copper for space elevator stuff. I'm sure you understand. We'll use all of that copper to make a bunch of cable and wires, and we'll feed those wires over into an assembler where we'll combine them with steel pipes to make stators. And after that, we are giving our space elevator everything it needs. It should be ready to launch within an hour. But that means that we have an hour to kill, so let's go ahead and build our last wing of coal generators. This will bring us up to 24 generators, consuming 360 coal a minute to output 1800 megawatts. I suspect that these are going to end up being the last coal generators we build. Let's see how our space elevator is coming along, and ooh, alright, more time to kill. Well, I can think of something to do. We might as well go ahead and check out the other Caterium node that's nearby. Right now we're getting more than enough out of our 1 pier node, but it can't hurt, we might need more in the future. We've started collecting some pretty good tools for killing things. For example, we can blow up this bug plant with an explosive, take out one of the bugs with our laser sword, and then go ahead and snipe down the other 2 with our rebarb gun. And wow, this node is also pure and, like I said, pretty darn close to our first one. So that's super nice. I found another crash site, and this drop pod only required quick wire, which I happen to already have on me, so hey, that's a freebie. Even that exploring wasn't quite enough to kill an hour, but that's okay. There is something I've been wanting to do for a while, so I mean, hey, let's go do it. We have to start by scaling this giant archway, but because we have these cool ramps, that's pretty easy. And, ooh, it looks like there's a purple power slug at the top. This is the rarest color of power slugs, and these guys are pretty cool. They produce 5 power crystals apiece. So what did I want to do that involves coming up on top of this arch? Well, I want to try riding on Mothra's back. You know that giant flying guy? I want to jump off of this and land on him. He flies under it pretty regularly. I'm worried though that if I jump from this height, I may just die on impact. Yeah, just jumping from down here seems like a better bet. If I time it right... Alright, let's do this. Oh, wow. Alright, that went much better than expected. This is honestly so much cooler than I imagined. Down there we have our steel production. And over on the right, those are our modular frames. Straight ahead there, we have our reinforced iron plates. Oh wow, and now we're flying right over our rotor factory. Wow, and he actually made a pretty small loop. It looks like we're heading straight back to the arch. I expected him to fly much further away, but it seems like he stays right in this area. So now the question is, how do I get down? Alright, I'm pretty darn sure I can jump out of that. Hopefully this doesn't kill me. And, oh wow, nice. That all went really, really well. He even dropped us off right on top of this yellow power slug. Okay, we're back at base now, and we finished analyzing that other hard drive. This first recipe over on the left looks a lot like it just turns water into iron, and water seems pretty plentiful, so I'm inclined to go for that one. And surely the space elevator is ready to launch by now. Ah, yes it is. And now that all of these components have no purpose, we'll just send them straight into the sink. And now that we've unlocked tier 5 and 6 milestones, alongside most of the stuff in the awesome shop, we can start building some really cool stuff, which I cannot wait to get to. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to save that for next time. So hey, thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and you know what? Just have a swell day, huh?